Can we shift gears and go to the ridiculous news of Jermell versus Canelo? Nobody seen it coming. Were in the back of your head, were you just like, just wait till you guys hear this one? Like, did you know it was already coming?
Yeah, I mean, there were a few people in the loop, and there was a lot of conversations about Jamal, and Jamal obviously wanted it very badly, but he's got some, things in his personal life he's dealing with that really weren't going to let him prepare the way he should have. So, look, I know, people look at Jermell and say 154-pounder. I mean, you look at Jermell physically, I'm not worried about size. Anybody who says it's a size mismatch, has never seen Jermell Charlo in person. Because, once I have full confidence, once we get to September 30th, it's going to be two very similarly sized guys in the ring.
Did it simply come down to Jermall was going to have the fight, and then, like you were saying, a few things came up, and then was it Jermell that was just like, yo, let me get that fight, man?
No, it was a group decision. It wasn't Jermell sneaking in there. It was, Jermall wanting to fight, definitely wanted to fight, but, he's also got...
Have a great night, boss.
All right. It was Jermall definitely wanting to fight, but also realizing he's got some things that he's got to deal with over the next few months. So, Jermell has been talking just as much as Jermall about wanting to fight, so it was an easy switch to make. And I think, at some point in the future, I think it's very possible Jermall gets the shot too.
When Mel getting the fight, are we getting closer to see Maul versus Andrade?
You know what? Look, I think we'll let Maul get take care of his personal business. But look, there's a lot of good fights for him at 60 or 68. So there's plenty available whenever he's ready. But the first thing is for him to get everything straight with his family and his personal life. As soon as he's ready, we'll get him back in the ring.
Is anything concrete in terms of Canelo's three opponents, or is it just kind of like a feel thing?
No, it's going to be case by case. I mean, because look, you know the sport, it changes so often. I mean, who knows who's going to be the best available opponent in 6 months or a year. So look, it's really it's up to Canelo and his team, along with PBC, and we'll take it one fight at a time.
I noticed. Wanted to know, it might be a little bit hard for you to answer, really, but just because of the activity of Jermell, the inactivity of Jermall, Jermell has a ton of confidence, being undisputed, winning all of his belts by knockout. Do you think just that factor alone could make him a more difficult fight than Jermall, mostly because of inactivity?
I think there are some people who look at it that way. There's also other people who look at it and say, look, it's less of adjustment the weight. Even though I think, both of them are similarly sized. One guy's been, making 154 more regularly, and it is an adjustment. I think either one of them. I think they're really interchangeable. I think either of them has an equal chance against Canelo, and I think they both have a very good shot.
Stephen, sold out crowd tonight. Was this the first hoax about Jaron Ennis becoming a superstar?
I think so. I mean, look, he wanted to do something at home for his fans, for his family, for people who've been supporting him on the way. This isn't Philly, but it's, just the next best thing. People, obviously came out. Everyone went home satisfied, at least all the Boots fans did. Very entertaining fight, very, entertaining card. So, look, I think the sky's the limit for him.
It seemed like, kind of like I'm going to say casual fans, but fans were kind of down after the Korean-Chikazin fight. Was this the statement that he needed to make to the world and to the welterweight division?
Yeah, I think people underestimated Chikazian, because the reality is he's a really, really slick, fighter with a lot of skills, and really was, fighting in the second half of the fight to survive. And I mean, you guys know when somebody's fighting to survive, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. So I think people didn't take into account, but certainly in terms of sort of answering whatever questions people had. This is as sharp as Boots has looked, at any time in the recent past. So whatever questions people had, they're answered now.
Does this one put pressure on Spencer and Crawford after they get finished their two fights to fight boxing or welterweight's next big thing?
Well, no, look, I think, Boots has been coming, Thurman's coming. There's still a lot of talent there. So, look, everybody's going to get their due. But look, it's this impressive performance. It certainly makes a statement. I know Boots is trying to send a message to everybody, and it's a pretty effective message.
Just a random question for me, but are we gonna get Andrade versus Caleb Plant? Are we gonna get that fight, or you think it's likely?
You know, there's nothing set. I mean, but look, there's a lot of good talent at 68. I mean, you know, could be Benavidez, Morrell, Plant, Jermall when he moves up. So I think we'll see one of those fights. Pick any two of those guys. We'll see one of those matchups before the end of the year.
Perfect segue. Is David Benavidez most likely to fight David Morrell now that he's not going to fight Canelo?
Definitely possible. Nothing's set. There have been conversations. I do think we'll see both David, Benavidez, and probably Morrell before the end of the year. Maybe against each other. Maybe against other opponents as well.
Gotcha.
All right, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.